Hello, and welcome back to the Morning Wood Chronicles. My name is Gerard, I'm 60 years old, and today is day 48 of a 180-day experiment to see if artificial intelligence can help guide me back towards metabolic health. Specifically, can it help me get my blood chemistry back into normal range? Can it help me persuade my doctor to reduce or eliminate medication I've been taking for 6 years to address diabetes and hypertension? And perhaps, with a little luck, could it even help me regain my morning vitality, if you know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Over the last couple of days' videos, I summarized phase 1 and phase 2. I explained what happens in phase 1, and I explained that I'm in phase 2, but I don't have much experience yet with phase 2. And today I want to share sort of my apprehension, my fears about phase 2. Because while phase 1 of this recipe, this formula that ChatGPT created for me, in phase 1 it's like a crash course. I was learning every day. I had to change the way I eat, the way I sleep, walking after meals, and so it was a big adjustment. But phase 2 feels so much scarier because, like, this is sort of normal life now. It's just that I'm operating with a body that is not chronically elevated in insulin and fighting with cortisol. I'm operating with a body that can digest and burn the food that I consume. And in between meals, it can access my fat reserves and use that as energy. The result of which is that I feel great. I am not hungry between meals. If I am, I know how to eat a snack, some protein to kind of hold me over. But I'm not hungry. I have good energy level. I'm sleeping better and better each week. So the thing that's sort of freaky about phase 2 for me at this point is that there are no more rules per se anymore. My body is working as it's intended, and so that means I can start deviating a little bit. So for example, last night I drank a Diet Pepsi before dinner. That was the first Diet Pepsi I've had in almost 2 months. I had some pasta the other day. Now, I didn't have a big bowl of pasta all by itself because now I know better. It was part of my normal sequencing where I eat my proteins and my fats and my fibers and some acids, and then mix in a little bit of pasta at the end. And all indications were that my body was able to digest it without having a big jump in glucose or in insulin. So I'm no longer operating where I was at phase 1. In phase 2, I can start expanding my boundaries a little bit and start including foods that I had cut out in phase 1. Granted, not 48 Costco chocolate chip cookies or a bag of potato chips. But those things actually appeal to me less today than they did 2 months ago. And so I don't really know where this all is going to lead in phase 2, because phase 2 can last anywhere from 3 to 6 months. But I do know that I'll be back here tomorrow in the forests of Washington State to report on progress. And I hope you'll join me for another episode of the Morning Wood Chronicles.